welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. Today I am going to talk about something that I am asked about on pretty much a daily basis, and that is, why is my right hand paralyzed and how does it affect me personally, living and functioning in everyday life? So before I go into why my hand is paralyzed, I just want to say that I apologize for the bad angles. My tripod for my new camera still has not come in yet, so I'm having to film this on my phone. So I was born at 27 weeks. I was a little over 2 pounds, and I was actually born healthy, just extremely premature. But a few hours after I was born, my lung ruptured, and that caused a bleed to my brain. And the doctor that was the delivery doctor on staff at the hospital could not stop the bleed right away. And so the bleed caused brain damage by the time that the doctors were able to stop the bleed. And that essentially caused several things. It caused weakness to the right side of my body completely. It caused hip problems in my right hip, and it caused my right hand to be completely paralyzed, to the extent where as an adult and even as a teenager, I have not been able to use my hand for most functional activities, in the sense that I can use my fingers to like push buttons or very simple tasks, but I cannot hold objects like a bottle. I cannot use my right hand to drive. I cannot use it to help me get dressed, and the muscles in my wrist are extremely tight and they are starting to contract. And when I don't wear a splint, my wrist is pretty much in a bent and fixed position that only a hand therapist or a physical therapist can get into a neutral flat position, and even for them it's really hard. So now I'm going to show you what my wrist looks like, and just be warned that it's not straight, and there are a lot of scars on my wrist from where I had many medical procedures as a baby from being in the NICU, and some of them left scars on my hand. So if you're sensitive to scars, you may not want to see my hand. Please excuse my mess, but I wanted to stand up to show you how my wrist is currently bent, and my arm as well. I don't really have much movement or anything in my arm. As you can see, my fingers kind of curl under my wrist, and people ask me all the time, does it hurt? And yes, the spasticity in my wrist does hurt sometimes. So people always ask me how only having full use of one hand affects me living independently and having, a social life, a career, all that. And the truth is, it really doesn't affect me that much, because I've never had use of my hand, so I don't know what it feels like. And honestly, I'll never be able to use both hands. Realistically, I know that. Would being able to use both hands make my life easier? Probably so, yes. But everything I do, I see as a challenge and a learning experience. And I have learned to fully adapt to only having use of my left hand. So my whole life has been learning how to do things one-handed, and it actually works out pretty well for me. Like, I live independently. I've lived on my own since I was almost 21. I have 3 college degrees. I have a vehicle. I cook for myself, clean for myself, like take care of myself in terms of like hygiene and stuff. I don't have any medical assistant or anything like that. I would say that one downfall to only having full use of one hand is that I can't carry a lot of things very well, and I obviously can't lift super heavy things, but I've just kind of learned to ask for help when I need it. But at the same time, if I don't need it, I won't ask for help. I want to be able to do as many things as I can independently and on my own for myself that I can, and I always challenge myself to be able to find new ways to do things and make my life the best that it can be. In terms of how my family and my friends see me, they just see me as a normal person because that's how I want everyone to see me. My friends just automatically know kind of certain things that I need help with, and they will help me with those things without asking. Like, I can't cut some foods up with a knife, like steak, and they'll just cut it. But if they think I can do it on my own, they're always willing to say, like, hey Brittany, do you need help? But in terms of like seeing me differently than people without any health issues or impairments, they never have. And that's what I always tell people, like, don't treat me differently because I have a paralyzed hand and because I walk with a limp, which I'll go into that in another video. But you know, I just want to be treated the same as everybody else. I don't want to be treated differently. I want to have the same career opportunities, the same goals, the same life as people my age. And there may be a time when I can't do as much for myself and I need more help. But I always say that when that point comes, then I'll deal with it. But for the time being, I'm just doing the best that I can. Do I worry about if people in society judge me for only having use of one hand? Not really so much. It's irritating that society as a whole does not think that I deserve the same opportunities as my peers. Like, I just finished my master's degree, as I said earlier, and trying to get a good paying job with that is really hard because I don't have as much experience as my peers, because I can't necessarily type super fast, I can't stand for long periods of time, and I can't have a job where I'm on my feet all day. And employers don't want to say like, oh, we can't hire you for your health issues because, you know, that's illegal. But at the same time, they'll hire someone else instead of me. And I think people look at me, especially only having use of one hand, as saying like, oh, she can't do anything. And that's not true. I can do just about anything as anybody else. Like, I can even put contact lenses in with 2 fingers. But when I tell people that, they don't believe me, or they think that just because I have physical impairments, like, oh, I'm stupid or I'm slow. And I'm not. Like, my IQ level is actually higher than a lot of my fully able-bodied peers, and it just sucks that society doesn't see me as the typical 31-year-old young woman who's trying to better her life. And hopefully one day that'll change. All I can do is hope that one day people will see beyond health issues and disabilities and give everybody out there the opportunity to do the best that they can. And I'm not saying everyone's like that. There are good people out there in the world, but the majority of people are going to judge you for the tiniest thing and stereotype you into a category that you don't necessarily fit in, and it's just frustrating. In terms of what medical diagnosis I've been given, just because I didn't put that out there, I do have spastic triplegia, cerebral palsy. My left arm is completely normal. My CP affects majority of my right side of my body. My left leg and left arm are incredibly weak, and I limp on my right side. I have CP a little bit in my left leg, but you can't really tell. It's so little that as a kid I was actually diagnosed with right hemiplegia, and it wasn't until a couple years ago that I was actually diagnosed with spastic triplegia, which means 3 out of 4 limbs are affected, for those of you who did not know. But my diagnosis has never stopped me from doing anything. I'm never going to let it stop me from doing anything, and I am just going to keep the most positive and best outlook on life that I can. So with that being said, I'm going to close this video, but I am going to say that if you have any questions about how me having a paralyzed hand affects me personally, you can ask me and I will try to respond to you. I am going to post some more videos of me walking when I get a tripod. Hopefully that will be coming any day now. I was already hoping that it would be here, but no. I'm going to do a lot of things, and I have a lot of videos planned that I want to do. I want to do an apartment tour and show how I do some functional activities like cooking or cleaning, and a lot of people have asked me to do a video of how I put contact lenses in, so I'm going to try to do that, but sticking things near my eye makes me very nervous. But until next time, thank you for watching this video, and once again, please subscribe, and I will talk to you all in another video. Have a blessed day.